TGIF, how you doing, everybody? Daily Coppock time. Right off the top, there was a time when he was the baddest man on the planet, and I recall vividly being at ringside back in the summer of 1997 when he chewed off the earlobe of Evander Holyfield. I remember prior to that when Michael Spinks was so frightened to face Mike Tyson that his promoter, Butch Lewis, had to virtually drag Spinks out of the dressing room. Now at the ripe old age of 44, when he should be A-list material at every boxing card in the country, for that reason every boxing card globally, Mike Tyson is saying, I am a pig and my life has been a waste of time. However, you know what? In some respects I feel sorry for Mike Tyson. Go back to 1992, his rape conviction involving Desiree Washington. ESPN legal expert Lester Munson will tell you this. Vincent Fuller, a strutting Washington, D.C. peacock, a tax attorney, gave Mike Tyson the worst defense any defendant has ever been given. Mike Tyson should have skated in the rape trial with Desiree Washington. All right, does this man look like your average 25-year-old rock and roll star? Happy birthday, Richard Starkey! Happy birthday, Ringo Starr, the least consequential Beatle. Which really isn't all that bad when you get right down to it. Ringo touring this summer with his all-star band, guys like Rick Derringer and Edgar Winter, guys who have gone way, way past eligibility for their AARP cards. Anyway, happy birthday, Ringo. Earlier this week in Midtown Manhattan, Paul McCartney on the left-handed bass got up and sang along with Ringo to celebrate his birthday, as did the incomparable Yoko Ono. Does anybody really know what Yoko Ono does for a living? If so, please advise the following. Yoko Ono. All right, gang, I got a question for you. Would Erin Andrews have appeared on Dancing with the Stars if she had never been photographed naked by local psycho Michael David Barrett? I don't think so. As hot as she may be, she ain't that good a sideline reporter. Anyway, Erin, her legal team, they are flaming angry right now. They are going to be suing several hotels, among them the Marriott chain. So help me, William Marriott, for providing, are you ready for this? This local psycho, this guy who is stalking Erin Andrews with not only confirmations on her hotels, but her room numbers, etc. You know what's going to transpire? Marriott, these other hotels, are not going to want the embarrassment of going into court. I guarantee you, so help me the Ramada Inn, so help me the Motel 6, Erin Andrews is going to wind up with a major payday. The hotels are going to settle these suits just as rapidly as possible. A round of applause for Billy Hunter, president of the National Basketball Players Association. He's laughing in the face of NBA Commissioner David Stern. While Stern insists that in 2010-2011, NBA teams project to lose $400 million. Stern, who are you conning, for heaven's sakes? The Golden State Warriors, not exactly the Queen Mary of NBA franchises, just sold for a record $450 million. That's a ball club with a fairly healthy fan base, but nevertheless has gone to the playoffs once over the last 15 years. Once over the last 15 years, the Warriors haven't been hot since Rick Barry was wearing Chuck Taylors, for heaven's sakes. When the NBA says it's losing $400 million a year, that's like saying there is no mafia in Chicago. That's like State Senator Skip Saviano saying the mafia is dead in Chicago. All right, hey, the time has come. Anybody who doesn't think college football players, college athletes, and revenue sports shouldn't be paid is absolutely crazy. The capacity of Michigan Stadium has been expanded to nearly 110,000 fans with 81 luxury suites. That's going to be wonderful this year as all those fans have the opportunity to see Rich Rodriguez, head coach of the Wolverines, in his third and final year as head coach of the Maize and Blue. But I mean, once again, hey, look at Penn State with 107,000 fans. Look at the ballpark at Tennessee. Look at all these major stadiums. You're going to tell me college football players shouldn't be paid, that a scholarship for sacrificing their bodies and winding up with all kinds of physical and mental injuries at the age of 50 is enough for these guys? I'm telling you, that is absolute crap. All right, I want you to take a look at this guy. Tell me he doesn't look like he shouldn't be an all-night clerk at a 7-Eleven or a proprietor at a bowling alley in Terre Haute, Indiana. Congratulations to Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He will follow his buddy LeBron James down to Miami via the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, Zydrunas, believe it or not, leaves a pretty good legacy by the shores of Lake Erie. He's the all-time leader in rebounding for Cavs, all-time leader in games played for the Cavs, and the all-time leader with lousy haircuts for the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, reading directly from my best-selling book, Fat Guys Shouldn't Be Dancing at Halftime. Today I want to talk about when I die. And I have the over-under on me at probably 65.5 years. But when I do die, I want several things to be taken care of. Much like my dear friend and mentor and the godfather of my daughter, Lindsay, in the words of the immortal Jack Brickhouse, I want every son of a bitch who ever hated my guts to have to stand at my funeral and talk about a great guy, talk about what a great guy I was. Number two, hey, you know, what can I say? I don't wear contacts. I want you to book John McDonough, Mark Giangreco, my buddy from Channel 5, Macho Man Randy Savage, Burt Randolph Sugar, and Mike Ditka to speak, because we're really going to have to package some star appeal if we expect to do any kind of a number at my funeral. The last thing I want to do is go out with half a house. Now, this is rock and roll world. I want you to check it out. This goes back, let me see, 37 years. Madison Square Garden. The incomparable Chuck Berry. John Lennon said, look at rock and roll in the dictionary, the name you'll see is Chuck Berry. He's on stage for the first time ever with Elias McDaniel, a.k.a. Bo Diddley. Now watch this start to finish. Only runs about 2 minutes, but you're going to see something very interesting. Bo Diddley clearly intimidates Chuck Berry. That happens about as often as I pick up a check. Hey gang, wonderful weekend. Don't forget, contact us on Facebook. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, any questions you might have, any topics you might want to suggest. Until then, peace, love. What did Don Cornelius used to say? Peace, love, and soul. So long, everybody.